All right, so says I'm live. Welcome everyone. Unfortunately, it looks like hair and makeup couldn't make it today. I am streaming from my hotel room. It is 6 a.m. here in Japan, and I have to be at work at 9. I tell you, it's been quite interesting going to do my first live stream. The whole time, the last 10 minutes, I've had that music playing in my head, from like Apollo 13 just before the launch. Of course, this isn't quite as important. Let's get things started. Let's officially start with my actually official countdown video. Let's just do it for fun, and let's go.
Blam 9.
8.
7. 6 shots.
5.
Quattro.
We are the three. Amigos.
2 more mother humpers.
One ring to rule them all.
Let's rock!
All right, so there's the official welcome. Yes, and hail to, I see I already got a few people in the chat. Thank you very much. I got Levi, I got Sci-Fi System, and of course I got Stark of Iron. I hope you guys enjoy this. I think you already know that today we are talking about Tremors. I thought there'd be no better movie for me to start with, since it's like my essential movie. I think it's the perfect movie, the best movie ever made. It should win Best Picture of the Year at every Academy Awards. That's if they really even mattered anymore. All right, first I need to get my Japanese energy drink in. Again, I woke up at 5, so a little on-air product placement, but as you can see, that green screen effect's cutting off the product. All right, that's better. And to add a little flair to this stream, I'm also going to be introducing today's Japanese word. Yes, that's right. Every live stream is going to come with a new Japanese word so you can expand your international vocabulary. So let's get to it. What is today's Japanese word? So there you have it. Today's Japanese word is gambaru. So gambaru in Japanese essentially means you can do it. So I actually have here gambaru. This is used quite often when someone is, really trying to power through a test, or is about to play, a big game or something, or maybe you're having a big time at work and you got a lot of work to do. You got to gambaru. You're going to power through it. And I think no word better represents Tremors than gambaru. On a $10 million budget, they somehow made the world's best B movie ever. So much so that it soared past an A movie. And let's introduce today's movie. Here we go. All right. So, welcome to Tremors. And oh no, the green screen. I got the hat and I got the jacket. Because if we're going to do Tremors, we're going to do it right. There we go. So, let's start with Tremors. I'll have to get a new background next time. At least I can still wear the jacket, right? I bought this jacket for a Wolverine costume a few years ago, and I was like, oh my god, you know what? It's perfect match for today. So to get into a little bit of trivia about the movie, as you all know, maybe as you don't know, it came out in 1990, and my golden era of cinema is this block of 10 years from about 1983 to like 1993. I would say starting with Return of the Jedi and ending with Jurassic Park. Just this beautiful time where practical effects hit their peak, and they were still number one when making films. And Jurassic Park was kind of the last of that, where they really beautifully merged practical effects with CG. After 1993, things get a little too CG heavy and a little too cheap. That's not saying there weren't cheap movies during that period, but I enjoy stop motion cheap, makeup cheap, and practical effects cheap way more than CG cheap. CG cheap is just way too lifeless in the eyes. It looks like me after a few many drinks at the karaoke bar. And talking about drinks, here we go. Don't worry, non-alcoholic, no caffeine either. I actually don't want to know what's in it. Yes, a Wolverine Tremors crossover. That's right. Lino, really happy to see you here. Graboids wouldn't have a chance against the Wolverine. Stark of Iron. That's actually a pretty good crossover there. You know, I think we could get Marvel back on track with that one. Yes, and Ohio gozaimasu, everyone. Good morning from me. Yes, feel free to add any Japanese into the chat if you want. And the movie, so the initial idea of Tremors literally came when the two writers, S.S. Wilson and Brent, I think his name's Brent Murdoch. They were literally sitting on a boulder, and they said, what would it be like if we couldn't get off this boulder? And what I love about this is that scene is in the movie. That's a pivotal scene in the movie. And apparently that's like a writing 101 tip, is like your inspiration should always wind up in the final product. Of course, they had the original name Land Sharks, which was also the same name as a Saturday Night Live skit. So that name was dropped. Then became Underneath Perfection. And eventually they settled on Tremors, which is a great name. But I tell you, right here in Japan, that offends me because we get a lot of Tremors. Maddock. All right. Yes. Thank you, Levi. All right. If anyone's going to correct me on any mistakes about Tremors, it's going to be Levi. He is probably beneath perfection. Yes, he is the utmost authority on anything Tremors. It's actually quite hilarious. He's got so much passion for it. I love it. So anyway, made on $10 million budget. And as you know, it stars the late, great Fred Ward. And of course, Kevin Bacon. And of course, Michael Gross, everyone's favorite. Reba McEntire. And I'm trying to remember the name of the girl who plays Rhonda. I wrote it down here. Finn Carter. That's right, Finn Carter. I read some interesting trivia on her. Is she apparently in 2019 was arrested for stealing a car. So yes, thank you, Levi. Yeah. So that kind of surprised me there, because I always kind of wondered what happened to her after Tremors. I think she's great in it. Well, everybody's great. It's just one of those movies that has a perfect cast, like pitch perfect, and it's such a great ensemble, and everyone has something to do. Anyway, what I love about Tremors is it's essentially Hot Lava, the movie. The ground's hot lava. And I first watched Tremors. I'm born in 85, so came out 1990. No way. Is that serious? She's actually going to be on the show later this year. Okay, Levi, I want to be part of that, okay? Please. And yes, Depenza, this is the perfect movie. I've always thought so. And it's not just nostalgia. It's not just nostalgia speaking. This is scientifically accurate. Yes, if you study this movie, pick it apart. The script is perfect. The effects are great. The acting is wonderful. The tone perfectly merges sci-fi, horror, and comedy. I would even call this a straight comedy. It's just great. And of course, the best monster flick with like a 50s nostalgia link to it. But anyway, as a kid, so I watched it when I was like 6 for the first time. My brother's friend, my older brother's friend, had the VHS copy. And I always wanted him to come over because when he came over, they would plug that movie in, so I wouldn't, bother them, and I'd just be on in the living room watching Tremors, and it freaked me out so much. This was the golden age where kids movies, or kids movies, movies you watch as kids, were like literally designed to scare the living piss out of you, but you loved it and you enjoyed it. Dark Crystal flashbacks, and I lived in the countryside, kind of on a farm, and it was literally frightened me for 6 months straight to go outside. But I was just old enough to start thinking with reason. And I was like, our house is built on bedrock, and we only have about 6 to 8 inches of alluvial soil. That's not enough for Tremors to come in through. My yard's safe. So this is my literal thinking as a kid. So I can go outside and play. The Tremors ain't gonna get me. There's too much bedrock around here. So it was also my introduction into geology. So thank you, Tremors. Which is interesting because the director, Ron Underwood, he was originally directing films for National Geographic, and that's why the graboids are so perfect, is because he thought about them. How could this creature actually exist? And that's again, like a pitch perfect part of Tremors is you actually believe the creature, and it's well thought out. Like, how does it move? How does it go through the soil? How would it get its food? How would it hunt? It's like all these pieces fit together so well. In the sequels, it gets a little more fantastical, but we'll leave the sequels for another stream one day. All right. And yeah, and it's probably, I think, what I like most about Tremors, and again, this only really goes for the first one, is it doesn't explain the origins of the creature. Yes, the ass blasters. Yeah, it starts to get a little goofy there. And yes, Stark, yeah, it follows the 3-act structure like perfectly. And what's nice is it follows the 3-act structure, and it's like every scene is important. Everything pays off in the end. If you're introduced to anything, it's going to come into play at the end of the movie. And it's just such a beautifully tight written script, and it's just something we don't see enough of these days. But again, I want this stream to be more about a positive. Speaking about movies, there's enough streams out there already that are complaining about modern movies. So the point of this one's going to be to talk about movies we love. Yeah, it's got that perfect 3-act structure, and I'm just gushing over it right now. I know. But if you look at the details of Tremors, like the editing, especially the sound editing, it's so perfectly done. And a good test to see if you're watching a good movie or not, and I'm actually going to make a video about this later, a little more detailed, is can you simply listen to it as a radio play? And can you follow it? And if you can follow it as a radio play, it's got a great script and a great sound design. Like, for example, there's the part when they're checking out the doctor's house. Spoilers, the doctor dies. And nobody's around. And we haven't really been fully introduced to the graboids yet. Yes, we've seen their tentacles that come and pull you in. But as far as the audience knows, they're just kind of like snake creatures. But what's beautiful about it is every footstep they make is a buh, a buh, a buh. And then, he just kicks the can. There's like a paint can on the ground and just and just all this beautiful focus on all the little noises you make and all the vibrations you make, but you don't think about them. But this is how the Tremors hunt, you learn later on. And then the whole movie is like how not to make noise and how to be light on your feet. And it's just so wonderfully done. The music's great too. It's pitch perfect as well. And then following into that is the camera work. Rewatching it probably for my 300th time, I was really taking note of the camera work. It's obviously they're working on a limited budget, and it was made in 1990, so we're not going to get the big sweeping drone shots or the crazy steady cam shots or anything like that. But it works so well to build the suspense I think, yes, yeah, I would say, yeah, it is an early version of A Quiet Place, but I would say this is much better than A Quiet Place, because obviously this would have been the inspiration for it. A Quiet Place is, it's A Quiet Place is like a decent film, but it needed like one or two more rewrites of the script to really get it to work, because there's a little too many things you can start pulling at it where you're like, that doesn't make a little sense. I'm enjoying it. Okay, so that happens. That's a little too on the nose, where Tremors just has that, again, like the creatures are so believable, and it actually feels like this could be a real creature that exists. But anyway, there's the scene, and again, to go back to the doctor and the doctor's wife. So she rushes into their car to get away from the graboids, and they're at the window, and they're clawing at the window, and then everything goes quiet. And the camera has this beautiful dolly out. Just pans out, dolly's out. Everything's okay. Oh, she relaxes, and then boom, there's a shake. And the camera just comes right back into her face. And it's so simple, but it's so effective. And like, if that was in the hands of like a lesser filmmaker, the camera would just be locked down. Just like this one lockdown, terrible, boring shot on their iPhone or something. So it's just so nicely done. It has a camera work, like cinematography and the sound design just meet so wonderfully. This is such a great movie. But what's interesting is going back to how it was originally called like Land Sharks. So the inspiration kind of roughly came from Jaws. And this is what I'm going to call a little bit of like an inspiration circle. So you had Jaws came out, obviously inspired the filmmakers for Tremors. And then there's the scene in Walter's shop. And I kind of noticed this about like 20 years ago. I was actually rewatched, coincidentally, I watched Tremors and Jurassic Park back to back. And there's this scene where, of course, they're at Walter's and they're coming up through the ground and they have to get up on the shelves and they're trying to get through the ventilation up onto the roof of the business. And just how the shots are done, obviously the general setup of the scene and the music. If you rewatch the scene in Jurassic Park when the velociraptors break into the command center and they need to get up into the ventilation shafts, I was like, oh my God, that's Tremors. That 100% was inspired by Tremors, this sequence. Like, it's like almost shot for shot remake. It's quite amazing. Yeah. Yes. Yes, I had to leave my... Did this hit your mind too before? It must have. Oh my God, you talk about it all the time. Okay. Damn, I'm not the first one to bring this one out. Yes, Dark Iron. There's definitely some evil. Yes, there is some Sam Raimi in this. Definitely the Evil Dead inspiration. Again, with that camera work. 100%. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I never even really thought about that before. But man, Ash could fit in to the Tremors universe so well. It would actually be... There's a crossover. So we got Tremors and Wolverine, and then we can also do Tremors and Ash. Oh, Levi, you actually got well, everyone should check that out. He's got a video on his channel comparing those two scenes. Nice. I like that a lot. Oh yeah, and Stark, I missed one of your comments here. So I like learning how to do sound design for radio first. Yes. Actually, Stark of Iron, he's doing this really great, like old timey, like 1920s, 30s, like radio broadcasts. They're actually a lot of fun to listen to. So I definitely recommend people checking that out as well. Yes, Ash, yo fat ass, chew on this. Yeah, a little bit of a boomstick for you. Yeah, him and Burt Gummer, now there's a team. I think they could work well off each other. Thanks, I love you too, Levi. Thank you very much. Yeah, but you know what? I'm gonna do this for a little fun. This is gushing about Tremors. Now that's easy. That's easy work because there's so much positive to say. Wait, is my collar okay? Oh my God, so embarrassed. There we go. Whew, that's better. Now I'm going to put a challenge to people in the chat. So we love Tremors. It's a great film. Can you think of any flaws? Now, I don't want to say that a perfect movie is impossible, but it's very, very improbable because there's so many parts. So many parts in a film. So challenge. If you can think of any flaw, I want you to put them up in the chat because I'm going to nitpick it. So I love nitpicking. There's a couple teeny tiny flaws, and I actually wrote them down. Let's see. Levi, yes, the blue screen in the basement. That was actually on my notes. Was one of them. There's one shot wherein Heather and Bert obviously comes into his goddamn rec room, and they're blowing it apart. And this scene is like a masterpiece of special effects. Like they're using miniatures. The miniatures are beautiful. I didn't even know they were miniatures until I watched the behind the scenes stuff. Because there's this great shot where Bert drops his gun on the floor. The camera pans down, follows the gun, and if you go frame by frame, you can find it because it's just the tiniest change in color temperature, but it cuts to a model shot of the gun and pans up to the model of the graboid. But it's so beautifully done that you would never notice it unless you were told it. But there is unfortunately one shot where I think it's either green screen or I think it might have been rear projection. And there you can kind of see, or maybe green screen because of the matting issue. It has what I call the Return of the Jedi effect that I always noticed when Luke Skywalker was fighting the Rancor. And this like hilarious like matte cutout line. I think it's a little bit of green bleeding over. And it's like, hey, that's like my green screen work. I like it when I can relate to movies. And yeah, same thing with the shot. It's just one shot. It's just one shot in the basement. And I was like, you don't even need that shot. But it's not Michael Gross either. Yeah. So maybe it was like a pickup shot they thought they needed like later in the production or something, but to be honest, the sequence would work 100% fine without it. So I'm not sure why they added that. But I got a couple more on here. Let's see. I got my chicken scratch notes. Let's see if I can find them. When the tremor, I think it's trying to remember now what exactly what sequence this is in, but it's one of the sequences where the camera's following the tremors like POV on the ground in the town, and there's this like a tin fence, like a tin sheet fence, and it lifts up like this, and you can just totally tell that it's like someone lifting it up on strings. There's like nothing beneath pushing it up, and I was like, okay, there's the tiniest little flaw. And when they're running and the fence posts are knocking down, great idea, love it, but it has the feeling of someone on strings. I gotta pull the fence posts down. But now this is going to be an only me problem, because this is a bizarre little pet peeve I've always had in movies, because I'm also really OCD about weather. Like I love weather. I love checking weather forecasts around the world all the time, weather conditions. And there is, in the background, you can see the weather change frequently, especially at the beginning of the movie when Val and Earl are getting Edgar down from the power line. And it goes from like a super cloudy day in the background to blazing sunshine again, and then a super cloudy day, and then blazing sunshine, and then a super cloudy day. And there's even, I think, one part where you could tell they're filming the winter because there's like snow on the mountains for like a couple shots, and then it's gone. And I don't know, just again, that's like a personal thing where I always notice that in movies when the weather doesn't match. I'm trying to remember the film director, the billionaire's name, who was like really anal retentive about having clouds, the perfect clouds in the background for his film back in like the 30s. It's not going to come to me. Howard Hughes. I'm a little bit of a Howard Hughes when it comes to the weather. Once you know that it was snowing on several days, it's so small, but it's noticeable. Yeah, you can feel that. And again, where it's filmed too, it's filmed in California, kind of like not Death Valley, but kind of like one of those lower depressions as well. So it's like, how often does it snow there? But of course, with their film and production, sometimes you get unlucky. So those are a few little nitpicks for an otherwise perfect film. So let's see here. Oh, now I made a very, very touching tribute for the movie because, as you know, as you watch Tremors, you lose some people on the way, and it hits you. It hits you right here. You know, you grow to love these characters, and then they're just taken from you. So I think it's only appropriate that we remember them as they were. So a little video for a little in memorial of our lost friends. And here we are. You get the tear there. You get the tear there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some graboid yakitori. That would be pretty nice. Yes. Oh, yeah, especially it's a delicacy here in Japan. Yes, yes. Very, very delicious. Yes, you called the graboids getting good. Tony, I think you know my sense of humor. How could I leave that out? Especially Stumpy. You know, we grow to love Stumpy, you know, and he's with us since the start of the film, and at the end he just gets smushed on the rocks. His guts just go everywhere. It's like it reminds me of when Lizzo tried to go bungee jumping. Oh my god. Sorry. But yeah, I'm actually kicking myself a little bit because out of all those deaths, I forgot someone. Who did I forget? Do you guys know who I forgot? Let's see. Let's see if anyone can call it. So I think I got a few people still working in the chat. I'll give you 10 seconds, all right? So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. I felt really bad because I left out Old Fred Sheep. Damn it. Oh, no. The road workers are there. The road workers are there. I think, yeah, let's watch one more time. I'm pretty sure the road workers are there. Let's just watch one more time. Why not? Because it was fun. So let's see here. So, in memoriam, Monsieur Oscars, Edgar would like to spooze, Old Fred, and of course his sheep. There we are, Carmine and Howard. The doctor, the doctor's wife. Graboid 1, always had a great sense of humor. Walter. Graboid 2, he loved rec rooms. Nestor. We all love Nestor. Graboid 3, he was full of guts. And Stumpy. He was really into trucks. All right. You know what? I remember too. That's right. The Caltech ones. I was just thinking that. The Caltech ones. Yes, I was going to put it in too. I was just going to show the little pan out of a little bit of guts on the ground. Don't worry. I'll get it perfect for the next film. But remember, people, this is a trial run, so things are going to be a little iffy here. I actually thought of another thing. Oh, this is actually one question I've always had. Because I love Tremors, and I've read up a lot about it a lot. But Melvin. Thank you, Tony. I'm rocking it. You mean the jacket, of course. I know, huh? Canadian. You got to wear the Canadian tuxedo. So, Melvin. Is Nestor Melvin's father? Or... Oh, no. I think... Is Melvin like an estranged father? Because I'm pretty sure like Melvin, he lives with Nancy, right? because and of course there's I think she so maybe Levi, maybe you know, what is the backstory for Melvin's parents? Where are his parents? Because I do feel like there's a few people. Leave to go gambling in Vegas. All right. Thank you, Levi. All right. There we go. Mystery solved. See, I knew Levi would know it. Yeah, actually, Sci-Fi Cinema, yes, I'm using StreamYard. It was recommended to me from Tony, and I thank him for that. It's been pretty easy and intuitive to use so far. So this morning, got the 5 playing around with the banners. I got my little ticker going on. Trying to personalize it, getting the videos uploaded, doing some of the slides and stuff. Okay, it was filmed that got cut because I've seen the deleted scenes. Okay. Tremors lost tapes. He has the scene in episode 35. Yeah, actually, if you could send me a link to that afterwards, I'd love that. Because I've seen the deleted scene where Edgar is talking to Old Man Fred. I've watched that one, which is a good one because gives Edgar a line in the movie. I'm always feel bad for that. People that are in these films, they active films, and they just get left on the cutting room floor. You know what? At least he still gets to be a corpse, and a damn good corpse. Like, I believe it. He's up. I believe that man's dead on that tower. Like, it looks like he smells of booze and of a little bit of decay. And that's no offense to the actor, but sometimes you typecasts. So yeah, I always feel a little bad for them. And no, that's why I always thought, knowing my luck, I'm the type of guy that never wins a raffle, never wins a lottery. I have to fight tooth and nail for each subscriber. So I know that if I was ever involved in a movie production, my scene would definitely be the one on the cutting room floor, and maybe my feet or something would remain in the movie. Yeah, Crow's picking at his skin. Yeah, he's all blistered up. I really believe that he was sitting up there for a few days in the sun, getting good and ripe. Yeah, so so this is why I just feel Tremors just has, again, is the embodiment of Gambaru, is because everyone in that movie, it looked like they were given 110% effort, and Kevin Bacon too. And Kevin Bacon by that point was obviously already a star, a big star. And it's interesting because it would have been like a smaller scale production for him, but he's 110% into it. And I love it. Fred Ward, of course, just amazing. I love everything Fred Ward's in. He's just great. He just has one of those charismatic faces. And it's like you want to be Fred Ward. He's just so cool. Then, of course, everyone loves America's Dad, Michael Gross, just amazing. Again, he's become the literal face of the series because he's just been, I think he's in all the Tremors movies but one. Again, Levi can correct me on that if I'm wrong. I love it. He's like my editor here. So thank you very much for taking part in this. Yeah. Fred's the best. I was actually, when he passed away too soon, way too soon. It's interesting because he was a star. Fred Ward was a star. It's not like he wasn't known, especially if people that were into sci-fi or I want to say the more cult film genres. You knew who he was and you loved him. He's in all Tremors but yours. That's right. I didn't see him there, and I watched the whole thing yesterday. I went through it all, loved it. Actually, Levi, I wanted to tell you the best scene that you did was the city boardroom scene. That was great. That was fun. All the characters there. But he never became a superstar. And I always feel like it's a shame because he was just lovely everything he did. I also, I'd say my second favorite film of his, besides the Tremor saga, because he's in the first two, I loved Naked Gun, 33 1/3. He is so great in that as the villain. He plays off of Leslie Nielsen so well. So if you haven't seen that, I recommend that as well. The third Naked, I recommend all the Naked Gun movies, because that's an era when slapstick was gold, just gold. That was before the what was it, the superhero movie, action movie the terrible, terrible stuff came along. This is before the dark times. Just really great. Yeah. Yes, Fred kills it. Yes, he's so great in that. And then Reba McEntire. That's what's hilarious too, is she's perfect in this film. I love Heather. Like, how can you not? And she plays off Bert so well. They are such a believable couple. Again, just perfect casting, perfect script. Like, you 100% believe that they are husband and wife. Like, they are a couple. And it was, I would say that besides Kevin Bacon not returning in the second one, the other biggest mistake the second one made was not having Reba McEntire return, which I'm going to do a separate stream on that. Actually, I have a review for it on my channel for Aftershocks. So please take a look at that if you haven't watched it already. Like most of my videos, it doesn't take too much time. It's about, I think, like 5 or 6 minutes long. I always try to keep stuff, quickly paced and brief enough. Probably doesn't help me for getting the watch hours, but we'll find out in the end, eh? And I'm also hoping to get a new sub or two today. That'd be nice. Hopefully these live streams, because this is really enjoying this so far, but hopefully, to add another dimension to the channel here. I'm also going to ask for recommendations for what movies that you would like me to live stream on. So if anyone has something they want to add, so please, send it to me on Twitter or put in the comments here. And the cast, and of course, how can I forget Walter? Oh my God, I can't forget Walter. Victor Wong. Victor Wong, also amazing character actor. He's so great. He plays the shopkeep so perfectly. And it's just a great, again, there you go. You had a nice, diverse cast. You had a strong female lead, but you had 2 strong female leads, but they were both well fleshed out, 3-dimensional characters who didn't talk down on the male characters, but they helped each other and played off each other. I love that. Oh, I already got 5. Thank you very much. Actually, I haven't checked how many people are actually listening in. I'm just going off faith here on the very nice active chats. Stark, Levi, just everybody, sci-fi, Lino. I'm just really nice to have you guys here. And I'm so happy that you're being active on the chats too, helping me stay afloat on this. +5, you have 7. Yay! All right. Let's celebrate with the trickle left in my energy drink. All right. Yeah, I'm doing interview tests after this today, so I got to go work 9 to 5 interviewing kids. I get they're so cute. I should tell them about Tremors. That'd be right. Hopefully they can go right up, be right up their alley. Yes, gambarimasu. Yes, I'm doing it. Gambarimasu. Oh yeah, Levi. Yes, I love going to your lives too. If you want to see someone who's wonderfully animated on live stream, go to Levi. Eating olives and talking Tremors is one of the funniest things that I've seen in a long time. And same with also, you want to have a good time, go to Tony Stark of Iron's live streams as well. They're great. I just want to add that I really wish I could actually watch more of your guys' stuff. As I know I tune in. I try to tune in when I can, and it's usually I can only stay for like half an hour, because I got 2 kids at home who demand attention, full-time job Monday to Friday. I got a Wednesday night job, a Thursday night job, and then I got weekend tutoring on Saturday, and off and on I got a Sunday job. So it just. I'm trying to find the time to keep up on my live streams, edit my own videos, and get everything going. I'm trying to patronize you guys as much as I can. Because just absolutely love it. Yeah. Actually, yeah, you know what? I'm going to maybe let's go share your guys' streams to each other. Let's see. Okay. Where's that share function? Okay. Hopefully this does it. So This is Tony Stark. Hopefully they can link to that. Hopefully I did that correctly. And then we got Tremors Sega. There we go, the Tremors Sega. All right. And here we go. All right, there we go. So there. So a couple of channels there that you guys can tune in and watch in. A lot of fun on both of them. Very different. They're both a very different feel, very different vibe. But I'm kind of one of those people that I love all different flavors. I love taking part in everything. So really good fun. Yeah. And I think that even if people may disagree on stuff, and Tremors can bring us together, and that is the power of Tremors. So yes, we're all gonna grow together. We're all gonna grow together. I think I'm just a little bit away from that magic mark. I actually haven't checked. Last I checked, I'm probably still there. Was 474. But you know what? It's exciting. It's exciting, and I like clawing my way up there. Out of the mouth of the graboid. Tentacles keep trying to pull me back in, but I'm clawing out. I'm grabbing onto that flimsy board. I'm taking those pants off, and I'm going to get it. I'm going to escape. I'm going to grow with you guys. All right. So is there any last questions about Tremors? So I think we're going to move on to part 2 of today's stream. And this part 2 is a surprise. So does anyone? I'm doing perfection. Yay. Thank you. Even though I'm stammering and stuttering and just being my goofy self. Actually, I want to make my own Tremors inspired film as well. There is, believe it or not, there is Tremors country in Canada. Yeah, I'm from British Columbia, and you go over the mountains, and British Columbia is like a colder mini version of like California. It's the frozen version of California, where you got the rainforest on the coast, and you go over the mountains, and then you hit the valleys in the interior, and that's where you get scrubland, desert, sagebrush, and it looks like it's right out of perfection. So I've always wanted to film kind of like either a tribute film or my own spin on the desert monster genre there. Yeah. That's all live show is, stammering and stumbling into fun. Yes, I agree. And losing track of what you're thinking about. Yes. Oh man. Yeah, no, I've always got these ideas. I'm always writing down these notes, and it's like, I just got to get back there for like a few weeks, get some people together, do like a film shoot. Would be so much fun. I could pay them in smiles. There you go. Is it too much to ask for you to share a link of Mike? Yeah, of course. Sci-fi Sifdan. Okay. Yeah, I'm subbed to you too. So Sci-fi Sifdan. Yes. There we are. All right. Coming right up. Yes, I would supply food, of course. So I'm actually kind of I'm working on a script a little bit. It's inspired. It's not Tremors, but it's inspired by Tremors. It's that and there we go. I got a sci-fi Sithan's channel up there, so he's just starting out as well. Yeah. So we're all starting out together. So take a look. Please take a look. I got to do a better showmanship on that. So please take a look to all these wonderful channels here for your liking. Enjoy all sorts of various entertainment and have a good time with family and friends as you tune into these wonderful quality entertainment. Thank you very much. All right. Excellent. Yeah. So I kind of got this idea. It's like Tremors inspired. So yeah, there's only like 5 or 7 people watching. So I trust you guys aren't going to steal it. All right. So the idea of this is it takes place after kind of like an alien invasion, but maybe like an accidental alien invasion. Comet hits the Earth. There's all these creatures that come out. And the beginning is kind of like a montage of all the havoc. And then the heart of the story is what happens is while this alien invasion is happening, it turns out that it happened during summer. So they just spread across the globe in the summer, going up far up north. But yes, Lino, you're writing it down. I know you are right now. All right, this is great. It's going to be published tomorrow. And then what happens is freezing weather kills them, especially the big ones. So as winter comes in, it kills them all back. So then there's kind of like this equilibrium where anything south of like 30 degrees north is like an ongoing war. And north of that is where kind of like humanity has, yes, Jarvis, stop it, Jarvis, don't you do it. And so like the base humanity is kind of living up north now. Again, I'm Canadian, and it annoys me to no end. This is going to be around on my channel regularly, is despite all the Canadian talent in Hollywood, despite all the productions that are filmed in Vancouver and Toronto, there's not enough films that take place in Canada. And actually, I blame a lot of the creators, like Seth Rogen. Dude's from Vancouver. Everything in his movies is Vancouver culture. Like Superbad, that was literally growing up in Vancouver, the movie. And he drops little references like, Granville Street and Broadway and stuff like that. Okay, if you're from Vancouver, you get these references. But it's like, dude, just have the balls and make it take place in Vancouver. Like the audience isn't going to disappear just because it takes place in Vancouver, not LA. And he's never done that. And it just annoys me to no end. So all my ideas take place in Canada. Yeah. It was supposed to take place in Canada, but it's Africa. Oh man, that's now I'm mad. Now I'm mad. And yeah, so this of course takes place in Canada, and it's going to be kind of about like the classic, kind of like Three Amigos storyline where there's these three guys, and they were like very useful in the old world, tech jobs, like stuff like that. But this new world, no, it's none of that. This new world is all we need: bronze. We need brass, we need soldiers, we need this, we need construction workers, we need these towers built to house the people coming in from the war zone and stuff. And they are so useless. They are just like rejected from every job. They go to try to join the army. No, you're just going to get in the way. They try to like join. They're trying to join the construction sites, and just like a montage of them failing at everything. Luckily, one of them is kind of through family friends. There's like a general work for the army, and he says, all right, you guys need work, you need money, we got a real like literally bullshit job for you guys to do. And again, this is where the super Canadian thing comes in the Fraser Canyons. This is out of Vancouver where the desert starts, these big kind of Grand Canyon looking areas, and there's the Fraser River there, which is like infamous for the salmon runs. And of course this new world needs food too, but there's this little alien creature that eats the salmon. So they're having problem keeping the salmon runs going. It's like the most cold tolerant version of the aliens, and it just goes just north enough into these salmon runs into the desert in Canada. And it's like, all right, your job is literally, and it's going to be literally just like shooting gophers. It's just like, you guys got to go there, take care of the salmon run. All right. So they go there, and this is kind of like entering the second act of the film, where it's just fun. They're just like swimming in the river, laying on the beach every now and then, just popping off one of these little creatures that comes by, enjoying. But then, this is when the intrigue comes in. They stumble upon a conspiracy, and ends up being because these communist Chinese from the Chinese government, communist Chinese come in. This is why Hollywood's not going to touch this one, and they are like kind of like spying around. So we got international spies coming in, and they're trying to collect them. Oh, what the hell do they want with these creatures? These are like the lamest aliens of all. And it's going to turn out that if there's like a reactor agent, that if you add to these aliens, they become like the most ferocious alien creature of any of them, and they want to use them. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, it's a handyman vibe, exactly. And they want to use these creatures like while the whole world's fighting. They want to use this as their advantage to become the supreme power of the world and kind of take over the world for themselves. So of course they stumble upon this. Like, oh my, we gotta get involved. They contact the general that gave them the job. He comes in. Long story short, turns out that he is also a double agent. He's actually helping them, and that's why he sent these guys there, because they're so inept. So his idea is, so the general is a double agent. He sent them. He's like, these guys suck. They're inept. So they're just gonna, we can push them over easily. And then it's gonna be, those three guys teaming up with some of the locals that live in the canyon area to fight against the general and the spies. before they collect. And so, yeah, that's kind of the plot. And I think it would be a lot of fun. So I'm trying to do out some storyboards and whatnot for it. Again, comedy. Yes. Yeah, it's a comedy of errors. It's a comedy of errors. Yeah. It's my favorite type of comedy. Very Three Amigos, yes. And like a classic three act structure, right? But there is going to be this one really funny scene that I got is like kind of like before the climax, the big showdown. There's gonna be like a campfire scene where the bad guys are having a campfire and the good guys are having a campfire. And how it starts is the bad guys will be saying like the most like tearjerker, emotional stuff where you're like, oh my God, these are actually the good guys. And, you know, cameras panning in on them. And it's going to go to our heroes. And they're talking about like the most vile stuff they've done in their past. Because, you know, everyone, especially when you're awkward, has had stuff that you regret and stuff. So it's going to make them look like the bad guys. And camera pulling out. But then it's going to cut back to the actual bad guys. And everything they said that sounded good, they're going to flip. And it's actually absolutely awful and horrible. So they are the bad guys. And then it's going to go back to the good guys, even though they were saying all this terrible stuff, is going to flip and show how they're actually really wholesome and nice and great. So just this hilarious little flip there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, yeah. Well, actually, sci-fi system, you caught me. I actually am writing kind of a graphic novel first. Then I'm going to use that as my as my storyboard. Yeah. So yes, thank you. Like, yes, please help me on it. Yes. Yeah, put this in there, beat and turn it around, real neat. All right, there you go. That's the catchphrase on the cover. Yeah. So there's yeah, I'm gonna screenplay it too. So this is kind of like my baby that I'm gonna be trying to shape over, and hopefully one day I can make it. It would be nice. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to make it alone. It would have to be joint effort with people. We'd need actors. We'd need help behind the scenes, of course. So hopefully one day this comes together, and yeah, it'd be nice if you guys, people watching, if you're all there as well. So yeah, that's my Tremors inspired. Yes, gambarimasu. I'm gonna do my best. Gambaru. All right. Well, now we're gonna do the little surprise. Before I go to the surprise, also for a strict Tremors film, if I was ever handed the Tremors franchise, maybe after I make this film, I'll be able to do that. If I was ever handled the actual Tremors franchise, I know we hate reboots. We all hate reboots, but unfortunately, I do a bit of a reboot. I know. Oh my God. Plot, you know, you didn't see that one coming, eh? And it would, the first half would be it would take place in perfection again. The first half would take in perfection again. That small desert town. Oh yeah, sorry, Levi. Yeah. Or I was thinking reboot, and I believe I might not like this, a new sequel to the first. So keep the first and a new sequel to the first, because I want the first half to take place in perfection again. And it would be nice to have Kevin Bacon involved again, and any of the remaining cast that's still around. Because unfortunately, Fred Ward obviously can't take place. Sucks so much. But the second half would take place in Las Vegas. It's just so perfect. Like, you start with the small rustic town to get that real heart of Tremors again, because it's all about isolation. But then freaking graboids in Las Vegas. There is so much comedy. There is so much comedy and fun waiting there. Like, yeah, Viva la Graboid, yes. Could you just have to imagine the Graboid just like, you got like a Las Vegas stage show, the top of the stage show, the Graboid just bursting through the stage. You know, you could have like the old people gambling. They're still trying to gamble, even though the Graboid's there. I'm going to hit the jackpot. Got to hit the jackpot. There's just so much that could be done. It would be so fun. The Graboid rodeo. Yes. Shriekers in Vegas. Yes. There's so much. It's just, there's just so much waiting to happen there, and I'm just surprised it hasn't been done. And it keeps it in the desert setting. The desert setting, and to me, that's like the heart of Tremors Saga, is you need to have that desert setting, that Nevada feel. They can't go through concrete. Well, that's where we can upzone them a little bit. Yes. You have a script for that too. I believe it. My God. Yeah, there's a lot of fun that can be done. I'm going to do a stream one day, as I said again, on the second Tremors and the other sequels too, but they'll be focused on the second Tremors because as my review that I have that you should watch, and I know Levi doesn't agree with all of it, but because I find the second Tremors to be a decent but flawed sequel. Yeah, Tremors is Western. It's a Western feel and film for sure. Yeah. And actually, it's true. You could do it without rebooting. That's true. Definitely. Yeah. It'd just be nice to get Kevin Bacon involved again, to get him on the Tremors. One more Tremors round. Yeah. Yes. Levi, you and I think alike. Don't have to agree with everything to see the merit in it. 100%. The same way, even all the streams I watch, I don't have to agree. In fact, I never agree 100% with anybody. And I love that. But we can still be friends. We can still enjoy each other's content and stuff. Yes, 100%. All right, well, on to the surprise. I love bad movies. So we had an example of Gambaru. So, Jurassic Park, that's also Gambaru. Tremors. The Gambaru spirit. In fact, it should be a picture of Tremors, the first one, in the dictionary for Gambaru, in the Japanese dictionary, of course. But the negative in Japanese is Gambarimasen or Gambaranai. We'll say Gambaranai. This one doesn't deserve the more honorable version of speaking. This is Gambaranai, the casual version, because it's just that awful. But it's beautiful. And I really don't think I'll get a ding for this one. If anyone has this trailer copywritten, they have some problems. I introduced to you, just in case you haven't seen my trailer reaction video, My Uncle the Alien. So enjoy.
My Uncle the Alien.
Oh, baby. Production
Kelly
value
Sullivan
here.
leads a very public life.
After all, your dad is the president.
But no one's ever heard about
Well,
her
it's
very
maybe
special friend she calls Uncle. Until now.
Kelly,
You
where
shouldn't
does he
have a
live?
special friend
In
that you
outer
call Uncle,
space.
kids.
Does
I'm
he have
just
a
gonna tell you
name?
right now.
My Uncle the Alien. He has the
Let's do it,
power
baby.
to change the future. And although she doesn't know it, he's about to change hers.
I'm so happy to be here with all my friends.
Her friends from the children's shelter are in danger of losing their home.
Children's
We're on the street again.
But she won't let them down.
Don,
It's
give me your
creative so
clothes.
far.
Jane, call me a cab.
Where you are going?
To try and raise money so her friends won't go homeless.
The president's daughter is missing?
Watch it!
I got a bad feeling about this.
And now, this girl from the White House is in for the ride of her life.
Yes! This movie probably cost like $1 million.
If you want it, just take it.
I've seen her on TV.
They got a Home Alone wacky villains.
The president, Washington, D.C., his daughter, she's been kidnapped.
You're the 100th nutcase to call us since she's been on TV. She's been kidnapped by aliens.
I ain't kidding.
$1 million. But the president never sees his daughter again.
But Kelly has a new friend who's willing to risk it all to help her.
Don't worry, I ain't gonna hurt you.
Hey, come on.
Now, have you noticed that there's been no aliens since the start of this trailer?
We have a location on him. Must have just missed him.
I really need to see this camera. Yes, Levi, this is...
What if I never see her again? We will get her back.
That's how bad this is.
Looks like he's gonna throw them out of the van. Back off! Please advise.
Join Kelly and her friends for an exciting, out-of-this-world adventure the whole family will enjoy. My Uncle
Oh my God,
the
the alien's
Alien.
back. Remember him? So yeah, I'm actually going to do another video on this one too, doing the whole serious breakdown of it. during the Christmas break. My friend and I watched it for our bad movie night. It is great. I recommend it 100%. The funniest thing, yes, what the fuck is that's probably the best way to sum up. That should be on the poll quote in the cover. What the fuck? It's so funny because the alien character is so inconsequential to the whole fucking movie. The alien, oh yes, I love Plan 9 from Outer Space. In fact, that was on my countdown video at the start. 9, Plan 9. Yeah, and my uncle the alien is so ridiculous. Well, here, actually, I got the cover. Let's bring it up. Wait. I had the cover. Oh, here I am. Now I'm bumbling around with the program. I got this. This is my brand. Oh, here it is. There we go. When that's the cover to your film, you know you're onto something good. Look at that beautiful work there. Yeah. Yeah, this movie is so bizarre because the alien is in it. The first shot of the movie is the alien. Like, the first shot is the alien. And she talks to the alien in the White House. And again, exposition's just like, hi, you're my friend. I call you uncle. And the alien talks like this, and it's really funny. Like an old grandma. And then the alien does nothing until the last 2 minutes of the movie. It's gone. So it just feels like it was originally written as just someone kidnapped the president's daughter. And at the very end, they're like, oh, I think we need something more interesting. Oh, aliens are popular. Let's retcon an alien into this. And it's the funniest thing. Yeah, it's a beautiful train wreck. Yes. It's so, it goes without saying the acting's atrocious, but they did have a budget. You can tell because if you're into filmmaking, this is like, I would say this is like a bad movie for filmmakers because you can see everywhere they did it wrong. And they have this long sequence of filming the presidential limousine, driving from the airport, driving through town, driving up to the hotel. And it's like 5 minutes of driving with a motorcade too. So they got the police motorcycles in front of stuff. And you're like, this is the most expensive. And leaving the airport, like from the tarmac with a real jet and stuff. And you're like, this is the most expensive shots in this movie. Like these shots alone, closing down these streets in LA, this would have cost, like a pretty penny. Leads to nothing. They drive to the hotel. She gets out of the car. Next shot is her getting back in the car. Nothing happens at the hotel. And then they drive to the next spot again. And you're like, oh my God, you spent all this money for nothing? This could all just be edited out. You get one shot of her leaving the plane. And the next shot is her at the center where she does the speech. That's what it should have been. And it's the funniest thing just to see them piss all this money away on something that doesn't matter. Yes. Yeah. So what does the daughter kidnapping plot need? Aliens. Yes. Oh my God, aliens. Oh, we should have thought of that before we wrote the script and filmed it. Yeah, that would have been great. Yeah, Macamie's uncanny. No, this alien the eyes are amazing. The mouth, surprisingly, actually has some good movement in it. But yeah, overall, it's just it's a beautiful disaster. And I shouldn't spoil it, but I'm going to spoil it, whatever. You'll still enjoy watching it. So the alien has nothing to do with it. And they're in all these trouble, and the alien never helps them until the very end when the alien beams them away. And she says, why did you help me? And there's this awesome cover-up line where it says, I'm still not used to dealing with Earth time. That's like literally the reason why the alien just fucked around for the whole movie and didn't help them. It's like, oh my God. It's so great. I know, exactly. If they gave the money spent on that movie, give that to me to make my Canadian Tremors. I promise you'll get 10, 20, 30, 40 times better production out of it. It's so funny. And then the alien just starts giving them platitudes, like just starts lecturing them. And I'm not joking. This is funniest, most bizarre lesson ever in a movie. Because it's the classic story of like, she's the president's daughter and she gets befriended by like a street kid, right? And he's like, latchkey kid or something. And is on the street and stuff. So they become friends and they have that little, that little rift of like how she's the president's daughter. So her whole life's monitored and he has no resources. So, is that classic dynamic, right? But the aliens lecturing at the end, literally, the alien turns to him and he says, that rich people are just poor people with money. That's literally the line. Rich people are just poor people with money. I'm like, oh my God, what the hell does that even mean? Like, it's the most we had to rewatch that line like 10 times. We're like, what? Is that the moral of the story? Like, trying to figure it out. Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's like, even if you got bad effects, if your story's good, you can hang in there for a movie. My Uncle the Alien, let's just say it doesn't have a good story or good effects or good acting. What it has is a lot of money burning on screen. So, and to me, those are always my favorite bad movies, is the ones that had budgets. Like, obviously, when someone's on a shoestring, like a $50 budget or a $0 budget, I'm not expecting Hollywood quality. But when you actually have real production quality and your movie is a train wreck, it's like, what? And this is where life gets scary, because think about how many failures in movies there are. Think about how many terrible, terrible films come out. And you're like, writing a story, like, it's a talent, yes, but there's a lot of talented people that can write stories, and there's a lot of talented directors. So how do all these terrible filmmakers keep getting work? And you're like, oh no, that's the same for teachers and doctors and lawyers. There's terrible lawyers and doctors and teachers. There are the bad movie. There's the Tommy Wiseau's of doctors out there. There's the Ed Woods of teachers out there. And that's when the world becomes, there is the Neil Breens of engineers building bridges for you. And that's when you start to worry about life. And you're like, oh no, they're all underbidding each other too. Oh boy. I made $183 movie. Yes. And 182 of those dollars was spent on hiring the accountant, I heard. Yeah. Oh no, low budget filmmaking is a lot of fun. Fermented Truth. Rich people are usually the most miserable people. Yeah, it's actually true, because they can't find a good marriage partner to share their success with and be happy. Actually, sci-fi sit then 100% agree. It's kind of funny because, like, I remember as a kid, like, you always have that fantasy, like, I want to be rich. And I've matured to that point. Like, I got, I'm married and got my kids and stuff. We live in a rented spot, still renting, but happy family. And it's like, you know what? This is so much better than being rich. So much better than having a lot of money. Like, I see people these days, all the music and other things, like, I got a yacht, I got this, I'm doing this. And I'm like, you know what's more fun? I love going to the park, playing with my kids. Now that's fun. That's not to say I wouldn't like to have a little coin that I could use on a movie. Now that would be fun. So, yeah, it would be nice to have, it'd be nice to be given a budget to make a film with. That would be great. Yeah, I would love that. And at this point that I'm already have a family, finding success now is much more favorable than finding success before you've got what are the more important things in motion. That's right. Yeah, rich is boring. Having a happy life is much better. Yeah, I agree 100%. It's it actually is true, the line that money does not buy happiness. That's not just a platitude. That's actually quite very true. People that are miserable without money are going to be miserable with money too, I think. So yeah, best thing to do is just enjoy whatever you have right now. Yeah. Having both would be nice. Again, I'm not going to disagree with that. But as I said, I think getting success now is much more preferable. Like, once you get like a family and stuff, and then getting the success, because I just feel like you would also probably spend the money on better stuff too. Yeah. There'd be less of a chance of you just pissing it all away, if you got a grounding to start with. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean this to turn into a sermon about money. Yes, today we're here to talk about we're here about movies and the love of movies and the love of course, my uncle, the alien, which I totally recommend. If you got a bad movie night coming up, please watch that. Thanks, Dad. My son, you're very welcome. And remember, an apple a day keeps the dentist away. My wife's the director. That's what I call being rich. Yeah. That's you know what? That's the best is when you can like share passion. Like if you're filmmaking and you can do it with your wife or your husband or your brother, your sister, your family. That's amazing. That's like really winning the lottery of life. If you ask me, like what a fun thing to share. Making good low budget movies together. And this is actually going to be a new thing I might add is when I was a kid, I made a whole bunch of low budget, especially during high school, low budget home movies. I'm going to review these movies. So I'm debating whether to do that as a live stream where we just watch my old embarrassing films and rip them apart live, or I might do like an official edited review of it and just treat it as if it's like an actual movie. Be like, that makes no sense in that character development. Well, there's some bad effects. I got a lot of Star Wars fan films from when I was a kid, and also some originals. I think I got like an Indiana Jones one too. Yeah. I got one that's called The Bomber and the Murderer with spelling mistakes and everything. Yeah. Actually, you know what? That would be a fun panel stream. Let's do it. Yes. Yeah, we went into philosophy. Yeah. You know what? As long as it wasn't boring, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, that's how my mind works. I'm just going to go. My mind's like one of those like Wikipedia like tunnels, right? You start on one article and oh, this sounds interesting. Link to the next one, the next one, the next one, next one. Eventually, we're on something totally different. Yeah. I'm gonna do that actually. Yeah. So maybe my second or third live stream. I'm gonna have to try and dig them up. I got them around. There's one that's actually pretty decent. The story in it's good, and I actually want to remake it with like a real budget one day. So yeah, let's do that. Let's get together one day. I'll get a panel, maybe like four, like myself and 3 people, and we will just riff on my old movies because nothing's better than taking the piss out of yourself. So yeah, so if you guys want to join me on that, let me know. I'm probably going to have to make this as my streaming time, Sunday morning. 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Japan, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. New York time, 1 p.m. 3 p.m. Vancouver, LA time. This is the best I can do, working around my work schedules and my family schedule. So hopefully this works for everybody that's watching. Yes. Yeah. There's a change for you to join? Oh, chat should be joining. Chatters on the panel. My live stream is between 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you for the offer, Sci-Fi Saturday. Unfortunately, I'm actually going to work as soon as this stream's done. My work starts in an hour and 45 minutes. Again, this is there's so many streams I want to join. I want to watch and take part in so many of your streams, and I just got to apologize because I'm so busy. I try and patronize as much as I can. And I want to be part of stuff more. Unfortunately, a lot of people's streams fall on when I'm right at the dead of work. So it's like, every now and then I get lucky and maybe I have a day that has no classes scheduled and I can maybe join from my car and, or during like, the best times for me to join stuff, other people's streams is going to be during the spring break, 2 weeks of spring break where I don't have work. I will be in Hawaii. So I'm actually going to do a stream from Hawaii, which is going to be great. I'm even trying to think of like a video I can make while I'm in Hawaii, like a little adventure video, maybe Jurassic Park spoof. And then summer vacation is a really great time. I got 2 months essentially, or at least 6 weeks. It's Japan that I can join on stuff a lot. And then of course during the Christmas winter time, yeah. If things are still going, I can do that too during my lunch break. If you're okay, like I can always pop in for a few minutes during lunch breaks and stuff. Yeah. If things are, hey, Devin, Walking 55's here. Thank you, sir. I'm up to 9. I got 9 viewers. Yeah, we're almost double digits, baby. That's when you hit the high life, when you hit those double digits. I remember turning 10 and Candy was, still dandy, but I was like, whoa, I'm 8 years away from liquor. It's Canada, of course. In America, I'd still be 11 years away. Yeah. So if you guys don't mind, I can sometimes join in a little bit during like lunch breaks and stuff like that. There's some scheduled interviews I still want to do with a few channels, like that Dolphin TV and stuff. But again, unfortunately, it's like your time slot is right when I'm in my classes and stuff. And so for stuff like that, Candy is dandy, but Ian is quicker. Yes, trust me. Once when you're married with 2 children, you don't get a lot of action. So yeah, you do become pretty quick. Oh my God. Am I allowed to say that on YouTube these days? I hope so. Just can't do it on YouTube. All right. I get a little dirty there. I don't mind. I got a dirty mind. So yeah, I think getting close to wrapping up here. I'm just going to open it up and does anyone have questions here? I'm not going to open up a panel today just because I'm still learning all the functions, and probably on the invite I'd probably fumble a lot, and also I gotta get showered and ready. Yeah, I'll be lucky if I get 1 or 2 chatters in my streams, plus the same numbers of panelists if they join. Well, you know what, Sithin, I'm going to be there. If I got break, I'm going to join in definitely. So again, to everyone, I'm trying my best to be part of because I love that I've found this community, because I really started my channel about 2 years ago. I actually started it 6 years ago, and I made like 3 videos, and then I completely forgot about my channel, and I got sidetracked because my son was born and my daughter was born, and then things kind of settled down a little bit. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna actually do this. I love movies. I love talking about movies. I love comedies. You know, my channel's also a lot of comedy skits. Please watch the cartoons. I love my cartoons. They take a lot of work, a lot of effort. And unfortunately, the algorithm hates editing intense videos that are short. So please watch those cartoons. I put a lot of love into those. And also the comedy skits. I got a whole bunch more coming out. I got so much planned. A little bit of the scatterbrain. Thank you, Levi. Yes, I'm glad you like the cartoons. My new one's coming out, and it's going back to the Terminator 2 universe. I'm going to try and get it done this month. It's the guy that gets shot up when the T-1000 and Arnold have their first confrontation in the hallway. So there's the guy in the hallway, boom, 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 just gets caught in the crossfire. So I'm gonna be releasing that hopefully in about 3 or 4 weeks. You haven't got a good night's sleep in a while with the kids? No. It's always go time when you got kids. And I heard the best quote ever about having kids is it's not a lot of fun, but it's a whole lot of joy. And that is so true, because you got to be on all the time. They want to play. And when you're in the middle of it, you're like, oh, I'm so tired. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm a jungle gym again. And then, but as soon as you're not with your kids, you're like, oh man, I miss them. Oh man, I'm missing out. I want to be playing with them. I want to be doing stuff with them. It's this because and you have all these good memories and feelings just flood in, and it's just great. What's your favorite Tremors sequel? Oh, this is a good question. My favorite Tremors sequel is a tie between the second and the fourth. I like the second and the fourth. Even though I gave the second a 6.4 out of 10. But again, I think it is an enjoyable movie. I just wish they didn't do the CG. I wish they stayed away from the CG. That CG effects, especially since they have those beautiful practical props, are so gorgeous. And they had to insert the mid-90s CG. And the fourth is great. Yeah, I like the fourth. Yeah, it's really fun. It's your favorite of all of them. Oh my goodness. Well, I tell you what, if we do a stream on the fourth, Levi, I'd love for you to be part of that. Stark of Iron, my thoughts on Terminator 4. Tremors 4. Yeah, I don't know why I was talking about my cartoon earlier. Yes, I do need a cattle prod, not for my kids, for me, to get me up. Yes. So yeah. Stark Iron, Tremors 4 is fun. Actually, if you want to be on that panel too, that'd be fun. That would be a fun one to panel. Because I want to do the second one and the fourth one. Maybe those will have separate live streams, and then all the rest will have their own live stream because let's just say 3 and 5 on are definitely lower tier Tremors in my opinion. But yeah, my Tremors universe is essentially the first one, second one, the fourth one. That's my base. That's my home base. Yeah. No, it'll be my live streams will be. I'll try and keep them the same time to try and keep. Oh, I'm at 10 views. Woohoo! Double digits, baby. All right. There's maybe still a drop in my energy drink. Cheers to you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everyone. I was actually so scared. I was so scared that I was just going to be talking to myself here the whole time. So I'm very happy. And thank you so much for being active on the chat too. This is so great. Sad Terminator noises. Yeah, actually T4 is one I'm going to talk about. Terminator 4. We got Tremors 4 and Terminator 4, the T4 series. I'm actually going to talk about that one time too, because if we're ever talking that when we're talking the Terminator series, everyone T1, T2 is actually kind of boring to talk about now. I'm still going to do it because I love them, but it's just because everyone loves them, and it's just universally known that those are fantastic movies. T3 is like almost like the parody of Terminator 1 and 2. I don't know how to say it. Like it's almost like a parody. So it's like it's got some dumb fun moments. The last 10 minutes are good, but those last 10 minutes should have been the whole movie. T5 and T6 is awful. A stream like that would just be depressing because it would just be me going on about how much I dislike them. Thank you, Dad, man. It is exciting hitting those double digits. And then, but T4 is the interesting one to talk about. It's the black sheep of the series for me because I actually really like T4. The first half. I really like the first half of T4. So it was almost there to being, T4 is Terminator Salvation. Yeah, it ain't bad. It's outside of T1 and T2. It's the only Terminator that I sometimes rewatch. And again, especially the first half. So I would go in and how I would fix the third act in that film. And it could have been a real solid. I was actually excited to see where that universe was going. And I was disappointed when the sequels for that were canceled and we got T5 instead. Ugh. That was disappointing. That was the beginning of the end of contemporary Hollywood for me, I think, when T5 happened. So the CG in 2 is disappointing considering Phil Tippett did Jurassic Park and Starship Troopers. Yes, yeah, I agree, yeah. yes. 4 uses the CG way better than 2 for Tremors. I just remember even watching that. I was like, oh, no, they have these gorgeous props. I would love to have one of those, a life-size one. And also Tremors 2 needed a little bit more of the actual graboids. There needed to be at least one more sequence of a graboid eating someone, I felt, and it would have been way better. Yeah. Yes. If ever alone, you usually have a script. Yes, an invented game. Yeah, actually, this is my script. Oh, we're not gonna be able to see it. It's my green screen script. So this is my script I wrote out. But actually, in the end, I didn't really look at it too much because I just wanted to be interacting with everyone here. The original script ending of Terminator 4 was way better than what got made. Yeah, again, that's another one of those disappointments. That's like the original ending of I Am Legend is like way better than the theatrical ending. That's another film to talk about one day. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, have I ever watched the Tremors TV show yet? So Levi, I'm going to say, unfortunately, no, I haven't. I got to watch that. That is definitely a missing check mark on my Tremors fandom. I do need to watch the TV show. I'm a bit of a, again, I was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s. So I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to TV shows because back then the idea was the TV show was always like a cheap, bad special effects version of the movie. So it's like, oh God, why do you watch that? But the Tremors TV show and the Sarah Connor Chronicles are 2 TV shows I should watch because those are 2 of my favorite IPs, and I never actually watched the show. But yeah, I'm gonna probably be signing out pretty soon. So I do thank everyone for tuning in today. I don't actually have a send-off video yet. I'm going to be making that probably for my next. I'll probably prepare that for my next stream. Preparing everything, and a little nervous. There's a few things that unfortunately I ran out of time on. Sierra Connor Chronicles Kick-Ass 2. Yeah, I'm going to definitely take a look at it. Well, to the 7 of you that are still tuned in right now, I thank you for sticking with me. And this was a lot of fun, and I really look forward to doing this next. Next one's going to be same time next week. Yes, I'm going to put that in. So same time next week. So, Jeanne, sayonara, bye-bye. That's all from me, and I hope to see you next week. And remember to like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your pastor, tell your pets. Come to Fermented Cinema. There's a lot of scripted fun, and now live streaming. Oh, there's a jingle. Let's all live stream with Fermented Cinema. Let's live stream with Fermented Cinema and eat some snacks. Okay. So thank you, everyone, and see you next time.